Hey everybody, welcome back to Writing with Miss Maxie. Good to see you again. Yesterday we began our draft of the beginning of our informational paragraph. So, what do you think we're going to be working on today? That's right, we're working on the middle today. So, like always, we'll begin with a review of our writing process. So, let's open up our iReady books to page 8 and 9. Page 8 and 9. We'll see our friend Herschel. The writing path. Here we go. So it looks like this. Here he is on his little skateboard. We zoom past step 1, past step 2, past step 3, past step 4. We're all the way in step 5. Yesterday, we wrote the beginning. Today, we will write the middle. And yep, you guessed it, tomorrow we'll write the end of our draft. So let's review our I can statements of the day. I'll share my screen so you can see. And as always, feel free to read along with me or just follow along with your finger. Oh, this is, hold on. Here we go. I can draft the middle of an informational paragraph. I can provide facts and definitions about the topic, and I can connect the facts with the topic in different words. So now that you know what we're doing today, let's talk about our materials. You will just need your iReady book and a pencil and paper. Okay. So today we are drafting the middle of our informational paragraph, and remember that drafts do not have to be perfect because we are going to go back later and make some changes to them. So let's open up our iReady books to page 24. I'll show you what that looks like. Page 24. Looks like this. It says step 5, draft continued. Write the middle. Read one fact that Jaden added to the middle of his paragraph. Then try writing one of your facts. So it's asking us to go back to the mentor text that Jaden wrote. Let's go back and find it in our book. I believe it's page 11. Yes, page 11. And we underlined the middle in yellow. So find where you underlined in yellow and pick out one detail that Jaden included. Okay, so when you've picked out, and feel free to pause the video if I'm going too fast. I know it can be a little speedy sometimes, but that is why it is on your own, so you can go at whatever pace is good for you. So once you've picked your detail from the middle, let's go back to page 24. 24. And I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. My first question is, what fact does Jaden include in the middle of his paragraph? In the middle of his paragraph. So again, if you need to go up to the page 11 to find it, that is perfectly fine. As a matter of fact, let's just read it together so you can pick out a fact from the middle if you don't have one underlined. Special Clothes for a Special Day by Jaden Cook. Do you have special clothes for special days? Every August, the Oglala Lakota people in South Dakota have a celebration. They dress like their ancestors. Ancestors are the people who lived before them. Their ancestors wore dresses, pants, and moccasins made from animal skins. Moccasins are shoes. The Oglala also wore clothes with beautiful beads. Some of the beads showed animals, some showed plants. The Oglala respect nature and their ancestors. They show this respect by wearing special clothing. So if we look towards the middle of our paragraph, I think one fact that Jaden includes in the middle would be that the Oglala wore clothes with beautiful beads, because that's a detail that adds to his topic in the middle. And he also goes into even more detail by telling us that the beadwork designs showed animals and plants, where he says some of the beads showed animals, some showed plants. So we are turning back to page 24. And here it has highlighted for us the detail from the middle that Jaden included in his paragraph. The Oglala also wore clothes with beautiful beads. Some of the beads showed animals, some showed plants. So let's underline Jaden's fact about Oglala clothing. Feel free to pause the video, take a minute to underline Jaden's fact, and then come back when you are finished. We'll go over it together. So I hope you've had a chance to underline the fact Jaden wrote about the Oglala's clothing. This is the one that I underlined. The Oglala also wore clothes with beautiful beads, because that's a fact about their clothing. Okay, let's read instruction number 2. Draw a box around the details that tell more about the fact. So take another minute, you can pause your video again and draw a box around the details that tell us more about the fact. Once you've done that, you can unpause and we'll go over it together. So welcome back. I hope you've drawn a box around the details that tell more about the fact. This is the box I drew right here in blue, where it says some of the beads showed animals, some showed plants. And I chose that part because it gives us details about what the beads showed in the Oglala's clothing. Okay, I'll clear my annotations. Feel free to pause the video if you need to change anything. And we'll go on. So we're now at part 3 where it says my paragraph. Write a sentence telling one of your facts. Add details to tell more about that fact. Hint, review your chart on page 21. So if you remember a couple days ago, we made this chart, our organization chart, where we added details about facts. Okay, so now we just want to use that chart to make a sentence. And again, feel free to pause your video while you go back in your book and find your organizer and your facts and what details you'd like to write about, and write your sentence. So welcome back. You should have written your sentence about one of your facts right here in number 3. The sentence I decided to write was, the Powhatan people hunted deer. They used the deer skins to make clothing and shoes. So first I told my fact by saying the Powhatan people hunted deer, and then I added a detail to tell us more about that, because I said they used the deer skins to make clothing and shoes. Okay, because we remember that in the middle of our paragraph, we need facts and definitions that tell more about the topic. So now I just have a couple more questions for you. And again, if you need to pause the video to finish writing your fact or your detail, that's fine. Just unpause whenever you're ready to continue. My question for you is, how can reading Jaden's paragraph help you organize and write your own? How can reading Jaden's paragraph help you organize and write your own? You can take a minute, think about it, whisper your answer to the computer. You might have said that Jaden's paragraph helps you organize and write your own because it helps you know that you have to include facts and definitions about your topic in the middle of your informational paragraph, just like Jaden did. And how did you choose which words to define? How did you choose which words to define? Think about it. Whisper your answer to the screen. You might have said that you chose to define words that you thought the readers did not know. And that is exactly right, because we don't want to waste our time telling readers definitions that they already know. We want to teach them something new and give them new information in our informational paragraphs. So that's all there is to writing the middle of a paragraph. We just pick a fact, add some definitions, some details about it. And since we drafted it out on page 24, now we can turn to page 34, yes, where we wrote our beginning yesterday, and write our middle part. So we're taking the same thing we wrote here in step 3 and going all the way to page 34. Where we started writing the beginning yesterday and just adding our middle. And that is all I have for you today. So we've drafted our beginning and our middle, and tomorrow we're going to work on the end. So just pause. Well, the video is over, so you don't have to pause. Just finish copying your middle part, and that's it. I'll see you tomorrow.